The intensity of Olympic competition often pushes athletes to their absolute limits, where every decision, every move, can mean the difference between victory and defeat. But what happens when that intensity boils over into something far more dangerous? Imagine hurtling around a velodrome at breakneck speeds, only to be blindsided by a blow that sends you crashing to the ground. This was the shocking reality for Team GB's Ollie during the men's Madison final, where a moment of high-stakes rivalry with a Dutch competitor led to a disqualification that has left the cycling world buzzing with controversy. In the world of track cycling, the Madison is one of the most grueling and chaotic events, demanding not only physical endurance but also sharp mental acuity. With 200 laps to conquer, riders must navigate a swirling mass of competitors, all jockeying for position at speeds that leave no room for error. For Ollie, this race was already an uphill battle. Team GB had struggled to keep pace with the relentless attacks from Italy, Denmark, and Portugal. But as the race neared its climax, with just 39 laps remaining, the stakes escalated in a flash. In an incident that shocked both spectators and commentators, Wood was sent crashing to the boards after an apparent headbutt from Dutch rider Jan Willem van Schip. The aftermath saw the Netherlands disqualified from the race, but the fallout from this controversial moment has only just begun. The crash was as sudden as it was violent. As Wood, exhausted yet determined, took the inside lane on his down lap, Van Schip attempted to pass him on the outside. What followed was a moment that left the velodrome in stunned silence. Wood's helmet was struck from behind, sending him sprawling across the track. Television replays struggled to capture the full extent of the contact, but to those watching, it was clear something had gone horribly wrong. The collision appeared to be more than just a racing incident. It looked like a deliberate act of aggression. Six-time Olympic champion Chris Hoy, who was commentating for the BBC, was quick to place the blame on Van Schip. "He absolutely whacked him on the head," Hoy remarked, visibly disturbed by the incident. The collision, Hoy noted, was not just a minor brush but a significant impact that could easily have left Wood with a concussion. Laura Kinney, another decorated British cyclist, echoed Hoy's surprise that Van Schip initially received no warning or penalty. "The men's Madison is a full-throttle event," she explained, "and at those speeds, even a small mistake can have catastrophic consequences." For Wood, the crash was both painful and disorienting. Describing the impact, he said, "I felt like a crash test dummy." The force of the hit was so severe that Wood later required a concussion assessment at trackside before he could continue. Despite the physical toll, including a heavily swollen knee and other injuries, Wood remained stoic in the aftermath. "I will survive," he said, his voice a mix of frustration and resignation. The crash, he noted, was particularly jarring because it came from behind, leaving him no time to brace for impact. While Wood and his teammate Mark Stewart were already out of medal contention by the time of the crash, the incident has sparked widespread debate about the nature of the sport and the fine line between competitive aggression and reckless endangerment. Fans and commentators alike have taken to social media to express their outrage, with many accusing Van Schip of deliberately targeting Wood. "That looked deliberate, it's a headbutt. That should be disqualification," one fan tweeted, capturing the sentiment of many who watched the race. The decision to disqualify the Netherlands hours after the race concluded was met with a mix of relief and disappointment. Relief, because it affirmed that such dangerous behavior has no place in the sport. Disappointment, because it highlighted the fact that the initial lack of action from race officials allowed the incident to cast a shadow over the entire event. Van Schip himself has remained silent on the matter, with his teammate Jori Havik attributing the incident to fatigue rather than malice. But for those who witnessed the crash, the question remains, was it a tragic mistake born of exhaustion, or something more sinister? As the dust settles on what was meant to be a thrilling Olympic event, the disqualification of the Netherlands serves as a stark reminder of the dangers inherent in high-speed sports. For Ollie, the memory of this crash will likely linger long after his physical wounds have healed. In the end, the men's Madison final will be remembered not just for the medals won, but for the collision that marred its conclusion. The debate over what truly happened on that fateful lap will continue, but one thing is certain, the line between competitive spirit and reckless conduct is thinner than ever, and the consequences of crossing it can be severe. As the cycling community reflects on this incident, the hope is that lessons are learned, ensuring the safety and integrity of the sport for future generations.